Testing. Alrighty. Hey everybody, it's now 10 p.m. PST, so welcome back to the Cash Vault live stream tonight on December 2nd, 2024. Your guys are in for a little bit of a treat today. Unfortunately, I was not able to make a whole wonderful project of a slideshow with some video clips in between to share with you all on my screen today, but I'm able to scroll you through the pictures that I have on my desktop of my day with Scottiplier at Fan Expo San Francisco at Moscone Center. So, without further ado, why don't we get on to the photos? All right, we can just share the screen. There's going to be no audio, so don't need to check that. Okay, so now if we head here into photos, here they are. So let me move my screen over a little bit. So, as you all know, it is pretty much a Comic-Con. It had many themes of television that were there. It was mostly Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, mm, and a lot of anime stuff. And some comic books of writers that were there too on one designated level. And had a nice, wonderful cafe, and it was a beautiful spot in one of the streets of San Francisco. So it's still kind of a place where you have to really be careful because, it's the city after all. So here is Scottiplier and I. Um, Scott just dressed regularly. I decided to cosplay as Anakin Skywalker. I know the wig was kind of a bit cheesy and was not exactly his in his style, but it was the close best. It was like the best closest thing that I can get to his kind of ensemble at like last minute on Amazon costumes. But I think the outfit was pretty well done. You'll see more of it in the manual slide that I'm going to do here. So there's us in the entrance. And so now if we head to the next photo, could I do that with this key? No. How about a click? Uh, there we go. All right, so was that the first one? Yeah, it was. Okay. So there was the line as soon as we got inside with our passes for entry and scanning for exit and for returning in because it was good for the whole day. We didn't go the entire weekend because, way too expensive, VIP passes, and we didn't want to go all the way to the city and then back to the peninsula. I mean, traffic is just hectic and it's about a more than a 30-minute drive away. So that would have probably been too much for us. And plus, work schedule, it's always a conflict when it comes to the work that Scottiplier and I do. So once you get inside and you're in the doors to see like the booths and the whole convention area, at least on the first main entrance floor, this is where you walk into. The line started here with the rope or the caution tape where people lined up, and then they do like kind of like rope drop, if you will. People of the staff or the crew would open up the whole entire event, and then people just went in. And then, yeah, we were able to get in a half hour early. It was supposed to open at 10 a.m., but the con decided, let's let them in early. This is a good whole crowd. So then we were able to get in at 9:30 instead. So a little longer, head start of an early day to enjoy our day there at the con. Um, Right in there was pretty much a great designated floor where it had, of course, as you can see, um, a good PA speakered stage right here. There was an announcer guy that was announcing some things here by the Samsung Galaxy phones booth, where Samsung had decided to, I think, partner up with this convention at Moscone, and they have decided can we like set up a mobile stand here to like promote or advertise our Samsung Galaxy phones um especially if there are new models that are out and then people could choose to buy them there if they want to, I believe, because there were some Samsung mobile reps that were there as well and people were looking at them out on display, kind of like testing it out, scrolling through and checking out the features. So, yeah, you can buy a cell phone there if you wanted to. So, anyways, behind the whole stand, there were a bunch of these booths, each of them with like a different theme. A lot of them from anime to like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and probably Sailor Moon somewhere. And and also a lot of there was some Nintendo because there were a couple of cosplayers too. I saw a couple of like, Super Mario's, Peach's, Luigi's, I saw a couple of like links. So that was pretty cool. And so, and then the other booths were like trading cards, comic books, the comic writers or producers or something like that that you can get autographed on your comic book or buy one and they'll sign it. Um, if only Stan Lee were alive today, he would love to join probably a convention like this, or he would be here. Um, yeah, they absolutely were great photos. There'll be definitely more. I have some more in here. So, and they were also booths of different themes. Like, oh gosh, they had a whole booth that were just full of lightsabers. So let me see. Well, before that, I met a new friend there. This lovely little lady is named Maggie, and well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said little. Um, but she dressed up as well in a cosplay. She was Padme, believe it or not. Yeah, I know, right? Anakin Skywalker's love. Um, and I just happened to be Anakin. I wonder if she was pretty thrilled at that. I mean, look at that like smile of like, wow, that she has on her face. Like, I'm not sure what to think. Am I like starstruck? Am I a little surprised here? But this is a wonderful surprise. And her mom was there too. So, it was nice seeing her and her mom there. Me and Scottiplier were able to walk around with them for a little while, especially in the cosplay session, and getting pictures taken with some of the cosplayers. Like, there were really great Mandalorian guys. I mean, in the helmets and the armor suits and everything, even the replica weapons and everything. It was amazing. There were a lot of troopers, like stormtroopers of different types, Mandalorians. There was definitely one big Chewbacca as like great quality that you would see when you meet Chewbacca in Star Wars Land at Disneyland. Yeah, I know. It was that great. And there were also a lot of Sith characters with red lightsabers. Some of them were from the new Disney Plus Star Wars series, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like Ahsoka, like what was the other one? Mandalorian, of course. There were a couple of Obi-Wan Kenobis there. There were a couple of Ahsokas that I saw, Ahsoka Tano. Um, there were like the third sister, I believe, the third Inquisitor. She was there from the Obi-Wan series. Not the actress, of course, as one of the ones you can get pictures with, but one of the people who cosplayed. Um, there was that guy with the mask and even red and flame colored eyeballs. Um, Obviously contact lenses for cosplaying. I mean, he was like epic, like you would see on the screen. Like 10 out of 10 stars for that guy's character. Also, there were like a lot of droids. There were mostly R2 units, a couple of R2D2s himself, a couple of BB-8s, and there was another BB unit droid that's the same type that the Jedi character from the Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor games, Cal Kestis, that he carries on his shoulder. That actor was there too for photo ops and autograph um, options as well in a line. Cameron Monaghan, Monaghan, which is the one that Scott had chose to pay for to get his picture taken with. So he got a picture with Cameron. I got a picture with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, which I will show at the end of the slideshow. So anyway, this was Maggie. Had a wonderful time walking around with her and her wife. I mean, oh my gosh. Did I say wife? I'm so sorry. With her and her mother. Just amazing women that we met there. And we've also had kept a little bit in contact. We've been texting each other recently too, and we're trying to find some, available dates that both of us are available and not working to meet up for maybe a lunch or some chatting about Star Wars or whatever. I mean, wherever this goes, I'm having great faith. But anyways, um, now let's get on to the slideshow. So this is what I was talking about. This guy had a whole booth, 2 to 3 tables worth, filled with hilts of lightsabers. And of course, their stunt blades. He was selling them and showcasing them. I mean, with a variety of like character lightsabers and lightsabers you can possibly also buy from other vendor lightsaber companies online out there, like maybe B sabers, Z sabers, or YDD sabers, um, Ultra sabers, like the combat ready sabers, ones for like great displaying on the shelf, like the best glows, not combat ready, but for like great show for pictures or maybe a smooth swing and all. Um, but these ones were like at least like as low as $60 to like over 200 easily. It was amazing. The hilt designs, as you can see, from the share view of the photo I took, very pretty designs from characters to combat ready. Like I said before, the guy was there kind of like giving demos, putting in the stunt blades like I showed you guys on my unboxing of my Anakin Skywalker saber that I recently got when you guys remembered. He did the same thing that I did. So I would just love to have that job. I would love to get all of these sabers at my booth, and I would love to volunteer to, even if I wasn't getting paid all day to do it, I would still love to do it just to get my hands on all of them and show demonstrations to everyone like, hey, look, this is what it can do. Do you want to buy one? And these are great material to even have in Sharpie get a autograph by your favorite actor here. Too bad that I was not able to purchase extra for getting Hayden Christensen's autograph, because I would have loved him to autograph my lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker. But unfortunately, that would have cost a little too much, and I don't think I wanted any writing to kind of like mess up the design of the saber anyway. I mean, it's shiny, it's still brand new, like pure metal and beautiful, and I even keep it wrapped up still in my case so it doesn't get dusty or anything. Yes, I'm taking very good care of it. So, anyways, it was worth it though, still getting a picture with him. So, moving on. Then it was about lunch. Scott and I ate lunch at about like maybe 12 or 1 when there was still time before I had to get to my 2:30 to 3 o'clock group time to stand in line to get my photo op with Hayden. Um, let's see, Scott, what'd you say here? So yeah, I mean, pretty much this whole Comic Con had themes of Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, um, DC, Lord of the Rings, Pokemon, other horror franchises, pretty much like you name it. This almost had like everything. Even Jurassic Park, as I saw that symbol on the big Fan Expo poster. I think I saw 1 or 2 dinosaurs walking around, so it's like maybe the T-Rex from the whole franchise. Um, which also Scott's mom had pointed out that she thought that she saw a dinosaur walk about. So it's possible. I don't know if there were any actors there though that were from the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World franchises, but I think there was a booth that was designed for them somewhere. I just can't recall if Scott and I had passed it. Um, yeah, there was even somebody wearing a xenomorph alien costume, which was like super epic. I mean, a party streamer and then just painted it black to use as the as the lunging like snake mouth. It's like that was pretty clever. I mean, the guy, I can tell he made it pretty much from scratch, or maybe he got most of the costume, then he did his finishing touches on it. It looked like he did it. It looked like the xenomorph costume is a lot of work, maintenance, and it is a lot of you have to take a lot of precautions with it. Like, I mean, with the long tail, especially, like, like carefully turn it around. I don't want to hit anyone. Hmm. Scott took a very good picture up close of the xenomorph guy, and it looked super real and pretty horrifying. Like, oh my God. It really must have been hard to put on, especially with the huge, like, lunged out heavy mask or alien head. But anyways, so yep, this is us sitting down having lunch. They had some things like your personalized like pizza from like a Pizza Hut vendor. Very good pizza. I would not say $15 worth. I would say at least I would say somewhere below 10, but no more than $10 what I paid for the pizza. Yes, their food, in my opinion, was overpriced and outrageous for its quality. But hey, the convention has to make money somehow, or that Moscone Center's building. It's how they're making their money. Um, Not only, but just one of the ways that people, when you go to these things, you cannot help but spend money. I mean, you can probably not buy anything from there, except obviously you need lunch. You need something to eat and something to drink throughout the day. So, I mean, I only bought those, and I only bought my own lightsaber and stuff that I wore from home. But I didn't buy anything else from there. I was pretty disciplined with my money. I didn't go overboard like probably some people would, and then they get home and they realized, oh shit, I maxed out my credit card, and what am I gonna do? Well, anyways, luckily that doesn't happen to me. Um, so lunch was pretty good considering its price. And then after this is when we got up and we met with Maggie and her mother again, and we were able to walk through the cosplay section that was just right across from the cafe area, and we got our pictures taken with a lot of cosplay characters. For instance, me and Scott here, yep, there's the full body costume ensemble. There is just Scott in his normal outfit. We were there with some Imperial stormtroopers of different kinds. We have TIE fighter, two black TIE fighter um, stormtroopers that are usually in the TIE fighters flying through in space for space battles, like in the Death Star. We have this white stormtrooper here, which has the helmet shape of Endor, so it was an Endor troop. I think mostly for like forests or jungles. Um, and then we have a kind of like armor damaged stormtrooper here. Um, who I think who I think these kinds of troopers usually stay like within inside like the Death Star, and they are probably like in like engine rooms or whatever it is that makes their armor like dark and dirty and such. They're probably doing the dirty work, but who knows? Mm. But I would say the longest line of waiting was obviously my waiting to get my photo with Hayden Christensen, plus in the waiting room. That alone took about an hour. But lunch was like, it was quite a bit of a line, but I'm surprised that it went by a bit sooner, or I mean, a lot quicker than I had anticipated. Like, I thought it was gonna take like a long ass line at Disneyland, like a 2 hour line waiting for Matterhorn or Indiana Jones or something like that. If you guys know those rides at Disneyland, and you know how long those lines could be. But this was almost kind of like that, but I'm surprised it went by quick because you can just go up, you take what you want, you go to the kiosk and pay it, and then you just find somewhere to sit or coop up and then just have it. Um, it was quite a bit of a wait. Um, because especially since they only let certain amount of people in the cafe area at a time, and then the number of people that come out are the number of people in the big line that can come in, and then those take time because they're choosing what they have to get. And because each group have families, you know, one group has to get food for like 5 or 6 people at most, or maybe even more. But anyways, so yeah, this was our first picture with the cosplayers. Um, and here is with the Mandalorians of different colors. Some of them look just like the Boba Fett costume, except with different armored paint, a different paint color. But it was very well done. Um, so these guys were very cool. I did almost the same kind of a pose. Um, and as you guys have probably noticed, my lightsaber has a blue ribbon tag around the hilt, around my hilt, because it took me a little while to figure this out, but I think I know why they did this. Security did this at the booth, while they had to search through my bag, to make sure nothing hazardous or dangerous was in it, like you would at any security turnstile going through the meter and all that stuff. For safety's sake. But they had to tag this because apparently I realized they sold these hilts, these great replicas inside, and they probably didn't want to get my own that I have brought from home mixed up with in there. Because if they see that without that thing wrapped up in there, they would have probably thought I took it right off of their booth and I didn't pay for it, like I stole it. So it was actually a good thing that security had done that, even though it kind of breaks the character and illusion of the lightsaber for the character. Like, come on, lightsabers don't have that around them. But at the same time, as for safety of like, theft reasons and all of that, I'm glad that security had did that. So shout out to them. They probably don't make as much money, trying to make the whole entire public safe there for the con. So big shout out to security there. They've done a splendid job. Um, so now on to the next photos. I need to zoom out and then zoom in. So here's the icing on the cake, guys. This is what I've been dying to show you. So I have got my photo with Hayden Christensen right here. The guy in my opinion has not changed or aged one bit. Um, so spectacular. So part of the purchase of 215 bucks just to get a photo with him. Well, the photo package was this 8 by 10 sized printed printed photo at the desk, and it comes with an additional same copy of it. So I have two of these, one that I'm putting in a frame and one that I'm probably going to like keep somewhere else or give it to somebody else that I probably love. So, you know something? I think I might give my second copy to my new friend Maggie. I think she would love that. I mean, she got her photo op also with Hayden Christensen, but I will ask her first if she would like to keep the Hayden photo with me in it. But when I walked up to him, first reactions, I was like, oh my God, Mr. Hayden Christensen, how are you doing? And I shook his hand for a good like 10 seconds. And the guy was like, it's all right, you don't have to let go. Um, so I kept on like, I held his hand for a little while and then they did the countdown to like 5 seconds. And then at two, one, that's when I had let go and I had posed. So that, when the flash went off, it didn't look awkward in the photo. Because, I'm not really a girl. I cannot be all over him like that. And I'm pretty sure he didn't want that either. but he kept his smile. He's such a cool, chill guy, very sweet too. Um, and he said about my entire ensemble, "You definitely look amazing." And then I think he I think he called me Anakin. So it's like, "You look amazing, Anakin." And so did quite a few other Anakin Skywalker cosplayers there too. I mean, a lot of them had, I think, slightly better costumes than I did, mostly because they had more close to his hair. I mean, their wigs were a little more accurate, but it was really spectacular. I mean, and this guy, I mean, look, he's not really fancy. He went very simple. I mean, regular dressed up clothing, just like any other guy, and just wearing a baseball cap. It's like, does it get any more simpler and blending in than that? It's definitely a guy who definitely wants to blend and fit into the, like, the general public without being like distracted by, too many fans. Well, obviously he's here for the fans, but like not overdoing it, if you know what I mean, getting crowded and harassed out in the outside public. And when he has to like probably go like, "Uh-oh, I gotta get out of here." Um, but that's what these conventions are for. They get paid. He probably gets paid 200 or 300 bucks every 5 or 10 minutes just for seeing these people. Um, Especially with what they pay to see him with autographs and each person with photo. I mean, this guy must have made thousands of dollars at this convention alone in 1 or 2 days, a whole weekend. So I hope that Mr. Christensen is doing well. So that's me outside holding it. Here's an up close, better shot of it. So yeah, that's him. Hasn't aged or changed a bit. So I think that is the end of my slideshow. Yes, it is. So now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, guys. So I've also kind of noticed maybe this new, gal friend of mine that I met at the con, I think that Scottiplier in the chat has got some kind of a good point in there. He says, Anakin and Padme, it was meant to be. And he wrote, um, and he wrote a heart shape with a smiley face emoji. Uh, so maybe if she had dressed as Padme and when I dressed as Anakin, it's almost as like, is this destiny? Do you really think that do you really think that this could be my future girlfriend or love interest? Part of me is saying I really hope so because I don't know if I'll ever find any other girl out there because I haven't at all. I haven't found any other girl out there who is like a great Star Wars geek like me and wants to keep talking about nothing but Star Wars. I mean, she's a crazy geek about it just like I am. And I think we're both like experts, if you will. So we have a plan somehow when we're next available, like out of work, that is, maybe on a Saturday or maybe sometime on a weekend, or late afternoon or evening on a Sunday when I get off of my work to go probably somewhere for like a bite to eat, a quick drink, just to sit down and chat somewhere and, do a little more chatting, getting to know each other more and all that stuff. So I really hope that I really hope that this can really go a little further into the future with a possible relationship. But right now, I believe we are just acquaintances, almost becoming friends. I can tell after one meetup we're gonna be really great friends. Um, because I only got acquainted just by meeting and hanging out with her at the con. I haven't really had that much time to really know her, so she's not considered my friend yet. But I sure hope she will. Um, Hayden had his hand on your shoulder. Hayden Christensen photo op for the win. Well, it was not exactly well, you know something? Hang on just a moment. Let me go back and share this. Um no, I don't think so. You know, Scott, I can't even remember if his hand or arm, his right one that was behind my left shoulder. I don't really know if I can't even remember if his hand or arm back there was like up against my back, kind of like, like holding up against my back or kind of like tucking me in a bit for, getting us into the photo, or if it was just, just hanging back casually there and then keeping the hand to himself. I can't even remember if that was what was going on, but it does look really great. Um, I do have the actual photo right here on my shelf. See? Two copies. Um, Looking at this photo again, yeah, I think his arm just happened to be behind my left shoulder, but the hand part I think was in his pocket, was in his pants pocket, just like the other one is. So, yeah, that's what it definitely looks like. So, so that was pretty much our entire day at the con. Scott had the same thing, except with Hayden Christensen. It was with Cameron Monaghan, the actor who was Cal Kestis in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor video games. And was also in Bates Motel TV show that he watches, who plays kind of like a young, similar version of the Joker. He was not the Joker himself, but he was kind of like a Joker character, but younger than the Joker's age. Um, he showed me a clip of it of his like psychopathic look and his like laugh and all that. It's like, boy, that guy should be locked in an asylum somewhere. Um, his character, obviously. But he's a great actor. I've seen him also here and there on TV as well, but I think that the video games of like, Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, I think those were kind of like his like debut into like, film and entertainment. Um, but maybe he was on Bates Motel before he was Cal Kestis. Um, and also during our time throughout the day there at the con, we were not able to buy any more like, VIP or add-on purchase packages for like autographs and photos or selfies of other stars. But we were able to walk around the stars level where most of them were with their individual booths with their agents. And thanks, Scottiplier. I was just coming to it, but thank you for the reminder. Um, we were able to stand in short lines with a couple of stars that were not so busy with big lines of people, maybe just a few of them, but they went by pretty quick because each person maybe took no more than 5 minutes each. So we were able to stand in line with a hi sticker just for walking up to say like hi and have a nice quick chat with them. Um, like asking like, "Hey, how you been? Did you like doing these movies or doing all this stuff? What was so fun behind the set? Are these other co-actor stars that you worked with, are they fun? Were they great? Or like what were the secrets that we didn't know about?" Um, so yeah, exactly. We were able to do that for um Bitsy Tulloch, um, Lois Lane. We were able to do that for actors Lucas Grabeel and Corbin Blue from the High School Musical trilogy that we grew up with as kids throughout our times in schools. And with their big main star in that trilogy was obviously Zac Efron. Too bad that he was not there. It would have been a great High School Musical kind of like reunion thing. Um, And no Vanessa Ann Hudgens or Ashley Tisdale or anybody else from the trilogy was there, just them two. But it was a real treat just going up and talking to them, and I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm really talking to Ryan Evans um and Mr. uh oh gosh, what did Corbin Blue play? I think his name was Chad. Um or Troy and Chad. Yeah, his name was Chad Dan Danford, I think. Danford. Um Chad Danford. Yeah, that's what he played, I believe. But anyways, we were able to say hi to them, Bitsy Tulloch, and we were able to just walk by and take a couple of glimpses of other actors, like faces. We saw their faces, but they were very busy and popular with long lines, so obviously we were not able to like sneak in quick and get like a say quick hello. But actors like that we know, like Andy Serkis was there, Danny Trejo was there. Um, John Rhys Davies was there. Um, Bruce Campbell was there. We saw Bruce Campbell just walk across the floor with his agent, probably from the behind the scene back room area of their break room, where they go and step away for a break. He was probably coming back to his booth, being like on the clock, if you will. So I was like, Scott, is that Bruce Campbell? And then he was like, yeah, it is. And then we were able to wave at him and just say, hi, Bruce. Hey, Bruce Campbell. And then he just looks back with his great signature tough guy look, like his tough guy face. And he just says, how's it going? And then I'm like, wow, I heard him talk right to me. I mean, even that just gives me the thrills and chills. Um, and then, and then he just turns back away and then he just goes back to his booth like any of those stars would do because, why not? They have a booth of fans to get back to. So that was really fun. That was very, very fun. Um, Andy Serkis was there too. He had a huge popular long line of fans. Probably fans from Lord of the Rings was there. I mean, we had a couple cosplayers that were from Lord of the Rings. Like we saw a tall guy on leg extenders to be Sauron, the great enemy of Middle Earth. I mean, that was a cool costume, I will admit. Um, Scott mentioned that actor Cameron Monaghan, his hand was on his back, the hand behind my left shoulder in the picture. Yeah, Hayden Christensen, I don't believe had done that. He just tucked the hands in his pockets and his arm was kind of like beside mine. But it was just thrilling to be right next to him and kind of like breathe his same scent. Like I just breathe the scent of Anakin Skywalker. So this is what space smelt like. I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. Um, and Annie Circus probably had some fans of like, Planet of the Apes fans were there. Um, and then some Marvel fans were there to see him too. He was in a couple of Marvel. He was in the first Black Panther film as the guy being interrogated that pretty much told the interrogators, these Wakandan warriors have a mountain full of vibranium and blah 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 blah. So he was like a Marvel cameo, if you will. So yep. And then the actor who was Superman was there. One of the Superman's names was I forgot what his last name was, but his first name was Tyler. So he was there right next to Bitsy. Um, oh geez. Did I say Bates Motel? It was the TV show that Cameron Monaghan was from was not Bates Motel. It was Gotham. It was Gotham. Don't make a mistake like that. Dude, I'm sorry. It is pretty late. I'm trying to keep my mind awake. So, Cameron was never in Bates Motel. That was um that was Freddie Highmore. I think that's what I was probably thinking of. Because I was watching a movie recently tonight that had Freddie Highmore in it. So, well, alrighty, guys. So that's pretty much all the stars and things that we saw throughout our time there. It was a close call for me too because I thought I had lost my ticket through my email to get my photo with Hayden Christensen, but luckily there was a help desk that was able to look into their purchase databases and was able to relocate my ticket, print me out a new QR code to go and see Hayden. So those guys were lifesavers to me. I don't know what I would have done without seeing them first thing when I got there, and then after that when I got it, I'm like, what a big relief. Now I can go and enjoy my day. So, it was great having you all here today. I'm glad I was able to share all of my thoughts and my adventure at the Expo at the Fan Expo San Francisco with you guys. Um, but now that closed the month of November and we're into December. A couple more things left to go for on my channel just before Christmas. And then over Christmas week until sometime in January, this channel will be taking a short hiatus. Um hiatus, however that is. We're gonna be taking a break as we close the season 4, and then January season 5 will open. Again, it's just a reminder. So, thank you all again for coming tonight. If you've missed this live, do not worry. You can view it archived and watch it all over again in the lives playlist on my channel. And when you're doing that, you will have then your chance to give your likes on pressing that like button and putting down your actual comments when the live chat ends. So thank you guys again for coming. I'll see you guys on the next video or live stream. We'll let you guys know what it is on the next post on my channel. We'll give more details. So, night, everyone.